Welcome back to Fox 5's On the Hill Live this Sunday morning. You know, there are hundreds of thousands of veterans right here in the DMV region. Sadly, some key issues they're still struggling with, like PTSD and suicide. One local combat veteran is putting faces on those issues in a new documentary called Tribal. We want to welcome in retired Staff Sergeant Mark Kershaw, who funded this film with your very own savings. Mark, thanks for being with us this morning. This is something that we have talked about for years, but still continues to be a problem. August marked the withdrawal of U.S. forces after the 1 year mark, but this is still a persistent problem for a lot of veterans. Tell me about the film and why you decided making a film would be the best way to tell this story that people have heard about, but might not have experienced like this.
Well, I felt like that us as leaders, we can't be everywhere, right? So I look at Tribal as a force multiplier. So it's something that can take place of my voice that can spread across millions and let veterans know, hey, it's okay not to be okay, and talk to somebody.
You know, we have a situation when it comes to these kinds of topics where people don't talk about post-traumatic stress disorder.
Absolutely.
They really do not talk about suicide.
Yep.
Was it important to kind of break down those barriers and open this up so you could have real, honest conversations about what's going on here?
It was very important. That's why I chose the three subjects, Wade Spann, Michael Gomez, and Omar Hernandez. Those were leaders in combat that those younger soldiers looked up to. They were the ones that maybe those younger soldiers would think, hey, they don't want me to talk about it. And having them openly speak about it and let people know it's okay, that really strikes home for a lot of people out there. Having
grown up in a military household, I kind of have seen firsthand what happens to that person when they are no longer in the military. Their sense of self changes.
Yep.
How detrimental is that to somebody when they're struggling with these kinds of issues because they're no longer in the larger thing that they felt protected them like a wall?
Yeah. I mean, we always say it, right? When you go out those gates, it may not hit you that day, 5 days from there, or 5 years from that time. But you're going to lose a sense of purpose, identity, and community. I'm no longer fighting a war. I'm no longer Sergeant Kershaw. And I'm no longer with my brothers to my left and right of me that can look at me in the eyes and know, I know what you're going through. So once that's ripped from you, it starts a downward spiral, and that's what we're really trying to raise awareness on.
You know, we have seen over and over again calls to former military personnel to talk about things, to seek out help. The help is out there, but is it in the places where it's needed, or can you access it easily if you're a veteran?
I believe we can. The biggest thing is us as veterans, we need to know it's not taboo to ask for help. Especially warriors, you know, war fighters, I like to say, we're very proud individuals, and we don't want to tell people that we have help. Or maybe we're somewhere in South Dakota where we're secluded. You need to speak up. There's thousands and thousands of outlets, but you need to speak up as a veteran.
Tribal is going to open a door for people who that might not otherwise be able to kind of understand what these folks are going through. Was there a particular moment in the film that strikes you?
There's a couple, right? I think there's one phrase that Sergeant Spann talks about where he says, the military does a really good job of turning civilians into warriors, but doesn't do a great job of turning warriors into quote-unquote normal. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. There's a big emphasis that I think should be done on transitioning, but that was a big line that struck me at the heart.
All right, retired Staff Sergeant Mark Kershaw joining us live this morning to talk about Tribal. I want to remind you the Tribal documentary is streaming right now. You can watch it on Apple TV, Amazon Prime TV, Vudu, and the Video on Demand Network. Mark Kershaw, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for this film, because you know we really think it's going to make a difference and open people's eyes to what's been going on, especially with PTSD and veteran suicide.
Thank you for having me, Tom.